going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. I'm with the boys, Xavier and Clark. And today, guys, we are desperate, just like these fighters are desperate for wins. The title of this video is we're going to go through every division and pick out a couple fighters who are the most desperate for a W. Whether it be they're on losses, the way they're losing, these fighters are desperate. Let's start, guys, in flyweight. We got a flyweight title match coming this weekend, Pantoja and KKF, but who are some desperate motherfuckers in this division?
Hmm. I'll start, man. Tatsuro Taira. Um, I think that while he is only coming off one loss, I think that when you consider his height and if he wants to keep his place in the top five, I think that there are some killers around him. And I think that were he to lose his next fight, I think that it would kind of dull the shine on him a little bit. If he wants to maintain his potential stardom, I think that he needs to win in his next fight, man. Um, I know there's people that have lost in more consecutively than him, but for me, I just think that like in terms of when I look at the top five in the division, like he has Cape on his heels. He has Amabayev on his heels. So it's like I just see people behind him that might be coming for his spot if he doesn't I mean, then you have Joshua Van about to jump up into the top five, so he just risks being pushed further and further down the division without him getting a win soon.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. But the first name I would look at would be Steve Urseg in this division. Supposedly, this man beat Pandoja, I was told.
I didn't see it.
We
I
didn't see it.
whatever. And then goes out in his next fight versus Cara France, gets KO'd pretty bad first round, and then loses to Moreno in a pretty dominant fashion. So it seems like he's a little stuck in the mud right now. He definitely needs to get a win to bounce back his confidence. Because, I mean, could see a Jamal Hill scenario out of left field here for Urseg. But I think Urseg still pretty young. He has time to improve and do his thing. But yeah, I mean, three tough L's in a row after the hype he got in that title fight. So he's the first name I would look at in this whole division.
It's a good one. I'll pick someone different. This might be a bit of a weird one, but I'm gonna say Kai Asakura. Now he is only coming off one loss, and it is to the champion. But just keep in mind the amount of hype this guy had. First fight, I feel like most people in the U.S. didn't know anything about him. You get a title shot right off rip, and the reason I say he's desperate for a win is he's fighting Tim Elliott next. Now, no disrespect to Elliott, but he's clearly nowhere near a title, a journeyman. I feel like if Asakura loses to Pantoja and then like someone from the bottom of the division, his title aspirations are absolutely cooked. So I think in order for some of the hype to transfer over and stay there, he needs to beat a guy like Tim Elliott.
I agree with that 100%, man. Tim Elliott has like what, like 50 losses on his record. I think it's more like
Has
13
13,
right
yep.
now. I think it's 13, but like I'm just exaggerating, but I'm just saying like he's been very beatable. And so if you want to be top five potential, like you gotta pass that test, man. You gotta pass that Tim Elliott test.
For sure. All right, let's move up 10 pounds, boys, to bantamweight.
Pom pom pom.
There's a couple desperate guys in here. Honestly think there's like three we could each speak on, like one per person. I'm looking at three pretty specific ones here.
I
Hmm.
think the first obvious one here is Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That yeah,
I think it's the very clear one. You go from being one of the most hyped fighters in the UFC, get all the glory, you're the champ, the best $500 I ever made on that night when he knocked out Aljo. So
Facts. That was a good night.
yeah, that was a very good night. And I don't know, I like Sean, so I do want to see him come back and get some wins, but he kind of skipped the line of the buzzsaw. Like he kind of beat Jan and then he got the title shot. But then he fought Cheeto. And y'all know how I feel about Cheeto. Like that man gives away fights, especially if they're just 3 rounds, you know. The fight might be over before they start. So he's gonna have to fight all the top guys now. And I worry against guys like Umar. You know, even Sanhagen, I think that's a tough fight for him. But Sanhagen's about to fight for the belt, but he loses, he'll have to fight him probably. So I think there's a lot of tough guys coming up as well. Don't let Montel Jackson get up there, y'all. He might
It's
put on a
key.
show up there. But yeah, especially the way he lost 2 tough L's to Marab in pretty dominant fashion for the most part. He needs it. He needs it.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it, Clark, but like, man, this guy was literally getting pushed to be the face of the sport up there with Pereira. Like, he had a lot of Conor McGregor vibes. The UFC was marketing the fuck out of him. They put him in the headline in the Sphere card. And yeah, he gets 2 tough L's back to back. Now it is to Marab, but still, like, that fall off, if you were to lose another, would be insane.
I think that like I do feel you guys, but I also don't feel you in that like you guys just said, his two losses have come to the great Marab, man. And from what it seems, Marab has everyone's number right now in that division. Um, the bantamweight GOAT. So it's kind of like losing, and it's not like he's getting his ass beat. I mean, he did get subbed up this last fight, but it's not like he's taking like brutal losses where it feels like he doesn't belong to me. It's just Marab being Marab and just getting him down. It's just like no one's been able to stop it, not even Umar. And I think that by Umar losing like he did and like eventually getting taken down, even though he had a good couple early rounds, by him like getting taken down late, it's like kind of like it makes it a little more understandable that anyone can like it's not just it doesn't reflect poorly on Sean's takedown defense necessarily. And while I did think Morab did have some good success on the feet as well in the last fight, more than I would have expected. I mean, it's Morab. I think that if he were to come off to a loss to a non dominant champion, coming off 2 losses to him, then maybe I would say he needs to win. But like, just because of the fact that both losses are to Morab, his last two, it's kind of his last and only two. I think that he does need a win, but like not as bad as some of these other guys to me.
Who would you pick? Who's most desperate to you?
Man, he Clark just touched on it, man. Cheeto fucking Vera.
Uh,
Even though I think that we can all kind of agree that Cheeto is probably not gonna touch that title. Um, I just think that his status as a gatekeeper is even in question at this point. If he keeps losing, I mean, right now, what is he ranked?
maybe
Number
6 or something? 7,
7.
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he's ranked number 7. And I mean, like, if he takes another loss, like I don't know who they would match him up against. I would imagine a step down. I mean, he just lost to Figueiredo, so he deserves to, defend his rank necessarily. He doesn't deserve to really fight anyone ahead of him right now. And I mean, could you not see like a Mario Batista beating him after how impressive he just looked against Patchy Mix?
That fight was scheduled.
I mean, could you not see shit, man? I could see on a good night Rob Font beating him, depending on how much he has left in the tank. Marcus McGee, I'm high on him. So I mean, like Vinicius Oliveira, like I'm just saying, we have some guys behind him that are on the come up, man. And I just think that a lot of them could beat Cheeto. So To me, he has to if he wants to hold his spot. He needs to win, man. He needs to win. He can't be off three losses and having one of them beats to someone behind him in the ranks. He's gonna fall down the ranks real quick.
Yeah, and it sucks with Cheeto. I feel like whenever a fight is announced with him, it's just like, oh, it's just a joke. The other guys are going to win because he's not going to start trying until the third round. It just feel like that's the vibe for every fight that's announced for Cheeto.
Facts.
It's tough.
He gives me Nate Diaz vibes. Like he might never lose if it was like to the death, but like it isn't. You know what I mean?
For my pick, I think Henry Cejudo is extremely desperate for a win. Now he might just retire, so this might not even matter. But he was on top of the world, retired in 2020 after knocking out Dominic Cruz, and has lost three fights ever since, and took like 3 years off. So even in the last fight, yeah, there was like an eye poke or whatever, but he was losing that fight. He lost to Marab and Sterling, so yeah, I don't know. I just feel like he is super desperate for a win. I don't think he'll ever touch a belt or anything like that again, but it just sucks what happened to Henry Cejudo.
It does suck, man. He just lost his prime to inactivity, man.
Lame as fuck, dude.
A story old as time, a Nick Diaz story, bro. Fuck.
So let's move up to featherweight, guys. Who's desperate at 145?
I'll kick this one off, man. It pains me so much to say this. You guys know this has been like one of my favorite featherweights in the division. Was my favorite featherweight in the division for a couple years there. This is my boy T City, man. Brian Ortega needs to fucking win. Um, I know that he had some rumblings about moving up to lightweight. I don't know if that's still his plan or what. But even if he does move up to lightweight, he still needs to fucking win. When I look at the featherweight ranks, when I look ahead of him and behind him, like there's definitely no one ahead of him that like besides what is Yair up there maybe? Let me see. Yeah, Yair's number 5. He just subbed up Yair a couple years ago. But I mean, outside of Yair, like I don't really know who I would favor him to beat currently up there anymore, and it does pay me to say that, but like I don't think we've seen what happened with the Holloway fight. We've seen what happened in the Volk fight. Um, we have Evalev up there. Ilya still ranked number 3. I think that would go horribly. Behind him, I mean, Lerone Murphy can give him real problems on the feet. We have Gene Silva, the uncrowned champ, in my mind, in the goddamn weight in the damn wings. I mean, you have Aljo right there. I think he should fight Aljo. That would be a fight that I believe is winnable for him.
Yeah, for
But I
him.
mean, like but my point being is like momentum wise, he is doing like arguably like the worst in the top 10 right now, maybe outside of Josh Emmett. But I mean, he needs to win, man. He needs to win. He's ranked number 6, and I mean, he's him and Arnold Allen are tied for 6, weirdly. So basically, he's ranked number 7. I don't know, man. I just think he has to get back in there, and if he wants to at least hold his spot as a gatekeeper in the UFC, an elite level gatekeeper, he needs to win his next fight.
Yeah, I would say I like that. There was a few people I was thinking of for this year, but I'm gonna go with my boy Arnold Allen. Um, he is coming off a win though,
Hmm.
but I do think looking at the talent coming up, Lopez is still up there. You have Ivalov. Maybe Aaron Pico is decent. We'll see.
I believe he is. But I mean, I've been burned before by these Bellator guys, so we'll fucking see.
Yeah. Zalal's coming up. Of course, you got Gene Silva. I think for Team Clark is gonna flatline Lopez in a few months here. Um, a lot of killers coming up. Leroy Murphy as well. So Arnold, he's in a position where he kind of has to defend his spot because there's contenders in the way. If Ivalov wins, he should get it. I think the UFC want this man to lose so bad, probably, because they're not giving him the title shot. So he's gonna be ahead of him. Winner of Lopez Silva probably is ahead of him in the rankings. He's just in a spot where I think he's got to defend, and he's gonna have to go through a lot of tough comp. I think he can win those fights, but up to this point, the fights he has lost have been the bigger ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Max and Evolov, close fights, but he did lose them. So he needs to pick up a win here. Everyone else is kind of a contender right now outside of Aljo. I was thinking of mentioning him, but I don't know. I would say Ortega's a good one, but I think Arnold's kind of in the same position.
Yeah, I was gonna take Arnold Allen, but since you touched on Sterling, I'm actually gonna go with Sterling here. He's alternating wins and losses, and the main reason I think he's desperate for a win is he clearly has title aspirations. Former champion, heartbreak at 135. The weight cut just became too much for him and all that. And the reason I'm saying he's desperate here is, man, looking up the rankings like 9-1, I do not like a lot of these, or maybe any of these matchups besides Ortega for him, if I'm being honest. Like, seriously, go through all of them. I think I would take the latter over Sterling.
Yeah.
And he's desperate to, like, get a like, an impressive win over any of these guys. Maybe Yair, but even that's a dangerous fight for a guy like Sterling.
Yeah, and he's a little
I could
old.
definitely see him Russell fucking Yair though. I will say that might be his best path,
That is
bro.
possible.
Because I think that if you keep grappling with Ortega that much, he will sub you up, bro. He will sub you up.
And, like, I don't like his chances against, like, Murphy, Allen, or Evolov. Or I mean, Lopez or Taporia. So,
Not at all.
but shout out the Funk Master.
Shout out to him, man.
Let's move up to lightweight. Some interesting ones here. Who do you guys got at 155?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Lightweight, this might be controversial, but I'm gonna go with the fucking uncrowned champ that we all assumed that for this Saturday, man. I think Ilya Taporia needs a fucking win, bro. I really do.
Yeah,
Circumstantially, like, this doesn't fit the normal criteria for a need to win. I mean, he's never lost. And I mean, I guess you can say that like if he loses, what he's like just gonna go back down. He shouldn't be too far from a title shot. I mean, all of that. But when you think about it, like this man basically he's coming off two of the most impressive wins in UFC history. Um, Going up to fight a third champion. I mean, it should have been Islam, but because it isn't, I mean, Charles is like a hell of a consolation prize in terms of a name to put on the mantle. Um, but I think that to give up your belt in hopes of going up in weight and then you fail, I think it would kind of leave him in like a weird spot and it would dull his star a lot. And I think that while a lot of MMA hardcore fans might like give him a pass for losing to someone like Charles, I think that in the eyes of the general public, I think that his chances of becoming a major star might like the star that he's at least on track to become currently. I think that it would be like dulled a lot. So even though I think he could rebound just fine from a loss, I just think in terms of if the UFC wants him to be the star they do, they want to headline cards in Spain with him and all of that. I think that him winning is really huge. And it keeps the potential Makachev fight at the forefront of everyone's mind, which could be like one of the biggest fights that the UFC can make at this point, especially with John Jones' retirement. So I'm gonna say that Ilya really needs to win this weekend.
Uh, I'm gonna go with an interesting one. I'm gonna go Moicano. Um, I feel like Moicano had a lot of momentum heading into. He had some other fight booked, but he had to step in versus Makachev. Had a lot of momentum going into that.
Wasn't it this fight with Dariush, I feel like?
I feel like it was.
Yeah.
Um, and he got subbed up first round. Now it is Makachev, but I just feel like he has too much momentum right now in the division. I think it's gonna get harder and harder right now with Paddy Pimblett coming up. Fiziev finally, I would have said Fiziev before last weekend.
Facts.
Yeah, been a good one.
Um, but he got a big win, so he's gonna probably be on the come up a little bit. And I just feel like Moicano, I don't know if he's good enough on the feet to get back to that point. So he really needs to beat someone like Beneil Dariush, especially who I think is like cooked at this point. Someone he should beat. And if he loses this, it's kind of like, he's been in the UFC a long time. It would be kind of an end, uh, the end of the run for me with him if he were to lose this fight. So he really needs to win.
Okay, sure.
He never
I
gets the title again if he loses. He never
Yeah,
gets the title shot again.
and like you said, like everyone's calling Darius washed and all that shit, so it'd be a tough one. Um, I'm gonna go with Armin Saryukian. Now, obviously, he is the backup for the title fight, but like, I feel like just for the his like name and reputation, man, like he did get the split decision against Oliveira, but then once he pulled out against Islam, I just feel like he's been getting clowned nonstop and just hasn't had a fight since, which is crazy, or a fight announced. And yeah, if he loses, I feel like he's gonna be very far from a title shot in this loaded lightweight division.
I
But I
agree
think
with
yeah,
you because the UFC is not gonna do him no favors.
that's the thing.
Uncle Dana is not fucking with him. Like if he loses, like he might get pushed out of the rankings. Like not literally, but like functionally, bro.
Like I feel like the hardcore fans, fuck with Saryuki, and like people pull out. It happens to everyone's favorite fighter sometimes, but like Dana White's on dirt with him, bro. He's on dirt with him.
Dana White does not like when he goes to the doctors and say and ask them like can he fight and then they go yeah and the fighter says no. Like
What a
he hates
pussy.
that. He hates that.
Yeah, it's that. But all right, guys, let's move up to 170. Who is desperate for a win at welterweight?
Start us off, Clark.
Uh, this is a very easy one for me. It's Mr. Leon Edwards. For obvious reasons, been embarrassing the last two times out. Uh, it just looked bad. I mean, this dude was the champ. I thought he was gonna be the champ for a little longer. Didn't think Bilal was gonna, be good, versus him. I thought he was on a different level. I thought he learned from the Usman fights, takedown defense and all that. I guess not, man. Back-to-back fights getting dominated through the wrestling. Just looked a shell of himself out there after the Usman fight. So he needs a win to protect his ranking for sure. He's up at number 4, and I don't know who he beats right now the way he's fighting. So it's also to prove like, man, can he still like hang around? Like I don't even know if he can right now. He's giving me weird Covington vibes the way he's fighting right now. And I don't know why that just changed up on us. Like the man's 33. He is not that old. Like get some grit, go in the gym, fix the mistakes, but I don't know, man. I'm getting like some give up energy that I don't like.
I feel
No,
that.
no, definitely. And I feel like he just seems like one of these guys that like once you get to the mountaintop, he just kind of presses the relax button. Like, yeah, I got to the mountaintop. I was fucking king, and now I just don't know if he still has that spirit, that dog in him. But we will see in his next fight, I guess.
Fuck, man.
Um,
Mm. Go ahead,
oh,
go ahead.
okay, I can go next. I'm gonna go with you went with my favorite fighter, Clark. I'm gonna go with yours. I'm gonna go with Shavkat Rakhmonov. And listen, I'm not gonna clown him or pick on him for the Gary shit. That's not why. It's because of the injury stuff and the movement of the welterweight division. He's not fighting, and a lot of these guys are having big performances. Look at Brady. Usman just got a big win out of nowhere, and he's a former pound for pound champ, so you know the fans love him. The promotion might be biased towards him. Bilal Muhammad's still he might still be up there. He might fight Shavkat, but like Ian Gary, Sean Brady, Mike Morales. I know Prada's lost, but like he's still on the come up. Welterweight's getting really hot, and Shavkat is just hurt right now, which really sucks for him. But I think he will be fine. But he is desperate to come back and get an impressive victory.
Imagine we're undefeated and we're desperate to come back and get a win. Insane.
I mean,
I
don't you kind of feel that?
I feel what you're saying in terms of like the division at the top is moving really fast and like you don't want him to just get lost in the shuffle. Like I think we all agreed that like he was most deserving of another title shot. He was supposed to get the Bilal fight that eventually went to JDM. And because he didn't get that, we've known that Bilal was fucking prime for the pickings, bro. And I mean, basically, JDM is the champ literally because Shavkat couldn't stay healthy. And now what we have Islam moving up. I mean, if Islam wins this belt, he's gonna be ahead of Shavkat. And like you said, like before Ed, like there's a lot of exciting fighters ranked below on the come up, like a Protez. Um, and even though he has the win over him, even like a Ian Gary, who's coming off the win over Protez. So I think that Shavkat needs one win. Like if he wins his next fight, I don't know if they're gonna give him an immediate title shot or not.
That's what I
But
mean.
if
I
it's
think
not an immediate title shot, I think that it is very important for him to win his next fight. Um,
I think he's getting the title shot.
Like it just really comes down to like what's scheduled and who's fought around when he comes back. That's what it comes down to. I'm not
I,
gonna argue it. I just don't know if like everyone else is down with him just getting a title shot.
yeah,
and that's crazy. Being 19 and 0, 18 out of 19 finishes. I mean, what I mean, because Ian Gary took his bag for like a minute. That's why he needs to prove himself out there. Like
it
insane.
wasn't a good look, Clark, but I feel you. But that was not a good look for sure.
He beat Gary. He beat Gary.
I know, I seen it, but I don't know. But
But yeah,
for my pick, man, I have a lot of guys like my issue is almost the fact that like all of the guys that I really think like quote unquote need a win, I think that they're like old and past their prime, you know what I
yeah,
mean? And
I
I don't
feel
really
that.
believe in them very much anyway. So I might just do like a little three-piece combo of Kobe Covington, Gilbert Burns. No, man, four. Fuck. Wonder Boy, Neo, Gilbert Burns, and Kobe, man. 8 through fucking 12 all need a win.
Damn.
Well, they gotta shit or get off the pot is more so what I'm saying. And I firmly expect all of them to be getting off the pot very soon, unfortunately. Um, I do expect them to match up Kevin Holland and Kobe. I think that Holland's gonna probably win that based on what I've seen off Kobe recently. You do have Protest at 12. So I mean, he's gonna be probably giving one of these guys, if not Buckley, and he's probably gonna handle one of them in vicious fashion, to be honest. I mean, you have MVP who could easily take one of their spots too. I feel
And
like maybe the hardest one might be Gilbert Burns if Gilbert Burns like grapples him, but I could see MVP beating all of these guys. So basically, all of them need a win, man. That little pocket, that little foursome that I just listed out, they all need a win, man. And more or less, they gotta just get out of the rankings if they don't get a win. Just because, like, hey, man, welterweight, there's a youth movement coming, man. Usman did his part as the old guard and reestablished that he's still here to stay. But are the rest of them? Fuck, I doubt it. I doubt it.
you should be above Leon in the rankings, by the way.
Absolutely.
All right, though. Let's move up to middleweight, 185. Um, I mean, I'll start with this one. I'll get the obvious one out of the way. Israel Adesanya desperately needs a victory. Let me see. It's
God,
coming.
fuck you.
He's
Fuck.
coming off a three-fight losing streak. He looked good in the Dricus fight, and he looked pretty decent in the Imanov fight. But like, he's been finished out of
He
the
was
last
winning
three.
all of those fights, bro. He was winning all of those fucking fights, bro. I don't
It's
care.
it's
I
just
don't
not. I don't
care.
know. It's just not enough these days. The Strickland one, man, just the
No, I mean, he
downfall.
was there. Okay, never mind. Okay, I forgot about that. He was winning the last two.
Yeah,
He was beating DDP and beating Imanov on the feet, like Imanov on the feet. Like Strickland whooped his ass belt to belt. I'm not gonna lie, but
but I feel like people are just out on Izzy. Like, and I totally get it. He is on a three-fight skid. It's not looking good. Middleweight's really tough. But once again, this is a guy 2 years ago was on top of the freaking world, and now he's desperate for a win.
yeah, I think that you hit the nail on the head perfectly with that, man. He is the most fighter I would say who needs to win. Um, I'm gonna go a little bit of what you said in the last round. I mean, in the last weight division, and I'm gonna go Hamzat, man. Hamzat needs to win, bro. I feel like similarly, he is at risk of getting kind of like losing a lot of like his shine. Um, on paper, losing to DDP wouldn't be that bad, I guess, in terms of like name value and shit. And I still think that even if he does lose to DDP, he could still beat basically everyone else in the division. But I would say, like in terms of like his potential stardom, like and inactivity, um, being unsure with of where he's at because of injuries and illnesses and shit. I just think that like there's a lot of unknowns with Hamza, and I think that to answer the question and really continue dominating the sport like he was, I think that he does need a win. Like it would be really bad for him if he were to lose his next fight. Like he would lose so much of his shine and so much of his stardom. So I'm gonna go with Hamza.
I like that. And you will at the United Center, August, what is it, 16th? Uh,
16th.
uh, I'm gonna go with good buddy Paulo Costa.
That's a good one.
This dude, man, I really thought this dude was gonna beat Izzy. Like when they got matched up when he was undefeated, I really thought he was gonna beat him.
You were really beating that drum, Clark. I swear.
I
He was
was.
scary, man.
He was, bro. And to go from that version of him to now is so crazy. He is now like 14-4. I think he's like, when's his last win?
Wasn't it Luke Rockhold?
Oh yeah, he beat Rockhold like real quick.
But like that was just such a random fight. Also, like what?
Then he's lost two straight to Strickland, Whitaker,
Oh
and
yeah, I
then
forgot about
lost
that.
before to Vittori, which is a dog shit
I
loss.
forgot about the Vittori loss.
Yeah,
Strickland walking him down was a bad look, bro.
Oh my God, that
yeah,
too.
that's
You never would have pictured that for Prime Costa, bro.
I don't know why, but I was hyped for Strickland versus Paulo Costa. I thought it was gonna be a fucking war, bro. But like, oh my God, that fight sucked ass.
Does a Costa low key. I
Yeah, I'm
don't
not saying it's not Strickland's fault.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Costa over the years, but he just lost that dog in him. I don't see it anymore. I feel like his skills are still decent, but like he has his little moments. Like the Whitaker spinning heel kick was nice. Like he stunned him with that. I mean, he has his moments. Like in the Vittori fight, I mean, he came in just super overweight, so they moved that to like a light
Yeah.
heavyweight fight or whatever. And I'll be honest, I'm shocked he did not gas over those 5 rounds. Like he was still there. So he just has potential. I feel like it's a training thing with him or something. Like he's just not giving 100% effort. in the gym or in the octagon from what I'm seeing. So he needs a win just to prove he can stay in the UFC, at least the rankings. And he's got to beat Kopylov, and I'm not gonna lie, I think Kopylov might beat him in that fight.
Move to light heavyweight 205. Who's desperate at 205, guys?
I'm gonna start, man. Jamal Hill, bro. Jamal
Yep.
fucking Hill.
Yep.
I think that it's obvious after this past weekend. I mean, Jamal Hill was on a hell of a run, only losing by that what was it, like a broken arm TKO to Paul Craig, which Ankalaev has also lost to Paul Craig randomly. Like the man just tricky in his guard. Sometimes he just gets you, bro. I mean, that can be excused. I mean, after that fight, Jamal Hill went on a tear, which culminated in him winning the title against Teixeira. Um, and he looked phenomenal. He tore his Achilles and gave up the title. And when he came back a little too soon, most of us thought we didn't know how he would look. Didn't seemingly take a full time to heal that Achilles injury. We seen him get knocked out, starts by Poatan, which it's Poatan. That could be looked past. But then we seen him get finished by Yuri Prohaska, which I mean on paper, again, it doesn't sound horrible, but now that's two knockout losses in a row. Um, and then boom, this past weekend we just seen him get absolutely dominated on the feet for 5 rounds by Khalil Roundtree, where the leg kicks, he had no answers for him. He got pieced on the feet. His boxing didn't look as crisp. He couldn't really get the jab going, largely because of the leg kicks. And I'm starting to see a pattern and very much like holes in his game. Um, I think also a pride in his stand up and an unwillingness to grapple or to try to change the fight around when it's not going his way. He seems to be like a one trick pony. Which we've seen his grappling be fine when he's forced to use it, but maybe you need to like start trying to initiate it a little bit. He's a big fucker. I think he could have had some decent grappling success against Roundtree in that fight had he chose to use it, but he just didn't. He would rather get picked apart for pride reasons. So I mean, I fought with Jamal Hill. I fought with him for a long time. And so like I'm not trying to be too critical of him, but like I'm being critical because I do believe in him and I do think he's like a good fighter. And I mean, if he loses 4 in a row, I mean, he's pretty much washed. And I think that a lot of people, myself included, like I don't think he's washed, but he's on watch like right now is for sure. Like one more loss and I might have to cast him out. And that's unfortunate to say, but it's the way in which he's losing. Like he hasn't looked competitive in basically 3 fights. So ever since that Achilles injury, he has not looked the same. And I mean, if he wants to prove that he's at least even one of the top guys at light heavyweight, I mean, he needs to win bad.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, he was definitely the obvious pick, especially how uh it ended in Baku. But I'm gonna go with this is a tricky division. I would say I'm gonna go a little weird one. Dominic Reyes. He's on a big win streak right now, or I don't know what it is. I think it's 3 wins, maybe two in a row.
Okay.
But I just feel like now he's about to actually head into the heavy hitters. He's gotten some little softballs here and there. Krylov, like he beat Krylov, which is nice, I guess. I was I thought Krylov would beat him, but like I never thought Krylov was like the elite of the elite of the division. So I just see him having trouble against those guys. And I feel like if he does, I don't know who they would match him up with really right now. But let's say if he were to rematch Jan, which would have, that's a fight that makes sense right now. And he loses to 42-year-old Jan Blachowicz, maybe even gets chinned. I worry about this man's chin every time he's in there for real. He's been chinned before plenty of times. I don't know. He's on a nice little streak here, but is he like 35? Like older? I'm not sure how old he is. I think he's older, so I just feel like it's a win now situation, and I don't know if he can do it. So he needs to win. He needs it.
Definitely.
All right.
Um, yeah, Dominic Reyes, and everyone's rooting for him, so a lot of pressure on him. I'm gonna go with. I was thinking about going with Blachowicz, but he's 42, so like I think someone who's really desperate for a win is Rakic.
Mm,
I was always one of those guys who kind of glazed him really hard. I think he's really good, but he is on a 3 fight losing streak, even though one of those losses was just a freak injury. But like he hasn't been super active. He lost to Yuri and to Ankalaev, which are pretty much the two out of three top guys right there. So that's a bad look. And light heavyweight's kind of heating up. Like Roundtree is really good now. Olberg's good. So like Reyes is coming up. Rakic has dropped to 7. So I think he's pretty desperate for a dub.
Hey man, don't forget about my boy Yang Ming Zhang on the come up, man. Fuck
He
you,
is
me.
on the come up.
He's coming.
And Guskov. Weird division. But let's move up to the final men's division. We got heavyweight. Tom Aspinall is our new champion. Who's desperate for a dub at heavyweight?
I'm gonna go first, man. And you just fucking named him Tom fucking Aspinall, bro. Tom Aspinall.
I like
Can
that pick.
you imagine the fun John Jones is gonna have if this man Aspinall loses his first fight, like his next fight? Like, oh my God, like it will be absolutely crazy. It would be like it would give John all of the ammo. I believe John would probably come back and because I would imagine what it's gonna be Cyril Gahn that they're gonna probably run the way it's
Yeah.
looking. Imagine if Cyril Gahn has fixed his takedown defense and just like kickboxes him to a decision at least. Like that would be such a one slap in the UFC's face. The UFC needs Aspinall to win. People have suggested that there is a chance that John Jones might just come out of retirement to fight Tom Aspinall at some point for a one-off. Um, he did recently get into some legal trouble as well. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. So, um, the timing of this retirement could have more to do with that than Tom Aspinall himself. Um, maybe John Jones knows he's gonna be in for some issues and doesn't want to like hold up the division, doesn't want to like be seen as holding up the division for that shit. So it's better to just get out the way. But if he loses, man, like John Jones will laugh in the UFC's fucking face. The UFC will feel bad for not paying him because now, like, their other potential heavyweight star would be dimmed out. And then Cyril obviously can't. I mean, he could have a run, but he can't immediately be take the attention away from John Jones. If anything, him winning over Aspinall would like put the spotlight better, like more on John Jones than anything. So I just think that for the UFC's sake and for Tom Aspinall's legacy's sake and for everyone's narratives of the fact that John Jones shouldn't have ducked him and shit, or that John Jones was only ducking him by saying what he said about how he could be going like here today, going tomorrow. Like it is kind of important to me. I think that for his own sake, that he has at least a decent little run with the heavyweight title, especially because seemingly no one will be like favored to beat him. So if he were to lose, it would be like him just getting upset by someone who, in people's minds, shouldn't beat him, and it would just be a horrible look for him. So I think he needs to win his next fight real bad.
I like that. I'm gonna go with a man who's lost 5 straight fights. Probably shouldn't be fighting at heavyweight either. He's a little small for it. It's Bam Bam tied to Ivasa. Uh, this dude was about a punch away in the Gon fight to being in a title spot. A lot of hype on him. And all of a sudden, ever since he got TKO'd in that fight, has looked pretty bad. I can't lie. He just he's getting outworked in these fights. He's getting dominated in these fights. He had a split decision with Rosenstrike in his last fight, which I remember. I thought Rosenstrike clearly won
Oh, it
that.
was yeah, he clearly won.
Oh yeah, that was a bullshit thing. Okay, a Cheeto Vera Sanhagen moment.
What the fuck was that too? Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so he's just not looked good. He looks slower.
It's getting bigger.
He's ranked 10th somehow still. He's getting bigger. Like I said, I don't think he should be fighting at this weight class. Just needs to get a little better in shape and go down to like middleweight. I don't even know where he should be, but I
No chance that
don't
happens. No chance he ever loses that fat, bro. No chance he like locks in, bro.
know. But I just think like losing to Tybora is just tough. I just feel like all title aspirations are kind of out the window if he loses this. I mean, they might cut him. Like 6 straight losses usually gets a lot of people cut. Most of the time, that's reserved for fighters who had great careers like Ferguson and all of them. So to Ivasa, that's not the case. So I think he needs a win to keep his spot in the UFC. I'm shocked he's ranked 10th here, by the way.
That
Yeah,
just
that's
shows
crazy.
like how weak the division is, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time picking a fighter here for me. I'm thinking Volkov, but like he was on an impressive win streak and he looked great against Gon, but like he is kind of desperate for like the UFC that said they're gonna make it up to him. Like I don't think he's gonna get a title shot, so I still think he needs another win.
Well, they might fucking give it to him, bro. Like they might say fuck Cyril Gane, and they might be right to, bro. To be honest.
I feel like they might have if Aspinall hadn't already beaten Alex.
Fresh matchup, man.
Hey, you're right. You're right.
Another one, maybe I think Taliesin Teixeira. He's not like desperate for one, but like I feel like he's kind of one of the only prospect bright spots in this terrible division. And if he loses to Derek Lewis, he's going to be like a highlight KO meme. So I feel like, and if he wins, he's like a kind of a star in the division. So I don't know. This division is kind of
I
terrible.
think that like a big trend I'm seeing, bro, is like there are fighters that need a win, but like when I'm making this list, what I'm mostly thinking about is like who would a win really help as well? There's a lot of people who like could use a win, but would it really help them? Like I feel like a lot of these guys in heavyweight is like I'm not very high on their prospects. Like I love my boy Derek Lewis, but would a loss kill him, bro? What do you like would a loss kill him?
No one would care.
I'm saying he's gonna be Derek Lewis regardless. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be just as happy to see his next fight. If he wins, am I gonna be like, oh my God, he's a threat to Aspinall? No. So it's kind of like a win wouldn't help him as you know what I mean? That's a part of it. Like there's a lot of guys similarly to when we were doing the welterweight division, like all those guys I named need a win, but like not really. Like what would it really do for him, you know?
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in.
Keep them employed.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the final three divisions. Women's. We'll start with women's strawweight. Anyone got any like an obvious one here?
I mean, if you ain't shitting, get off the pot, Jessica Andrade, bro. Like,
She does have a fight.
she is just ranked number five. That's the only reason. I feel like similarly to what I was just saying, I don't think that a win too much like would benefit Andrade in terms of making a title push. But if she wants to keep her like gatekeeper status and not slip into washed fighter status completely, like she's too young to be taking all the L's that she does in a row. So, I mean, ranked number five, like there's a lot of fighters behind her that I would take to beat her. So, like a lot of them actually, most of them even, to be honest, including fucking old ass Angela Hill. Like, shout out my girl. So, I mean, I just really think that like she needs to win it in a bad way, or she has to shit or get off the pot, bro.
I like that. I would go with Lemos for age reasons. I'm gonna use age here. She's just a little older, and as long as Wei Lee or a dominant wrestler, if Janarova gets the belt, then Lemos has no chance in that fight because she can't stuff any good wrestlers' takedowns. And she's too old at that point, at this point, to learn those skills. So we need to keep winning in the right direction here and kind of get the matchups she needs.
I feel that.
But I do feel like my worry is she's old. What if the next day she just looks kind of washed? Came off an impressive win versus Lucindo, right? I believe. I I
I'm not
think so.
sure.
I'm not sure. I believe she beat Lucindo.
Nintendo. Let me see. Yeah. Lemos beat her last time. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And that was a good dog. She was an underdog in that for sure. Got a nice win there. But she needs more of that, especially to get a title shot again. They're not gonna give it to her while Wei Lee's the champ. Um, they would give it to her versus Shandorova, but I don't think she wins that fight just stylistically. So she just kind of needs to be in the right circumstances, and I'm afraid her age is about to catch up to her.
I feel that.
I'm gonna go with Amanda Ribas. She's 1-3 in her last four, and she's been finished in two of those. So like, it's just not a great look. She last lost to what was Dern. It says here by submission, and it's just the way she's losing these fights. I don't know how many valuable wins she can really get in this division right now. So that's my pick.
He keeps moving around too, like Andrade.
Yeah. All right, let's go to flyweight. Who do we have at flyweight, guys?
I'm
Um,
gonna go on a whim, man, and say
uh,
Alexa Grasso,
yeah,
man.
that's what I was gonna say
Grasso needs a fucking win, man.
for sure.
Even though she didn't look horrible in her last fight against Natalia Silva, she did like lose it pretty. She did lose it. Um, and coming off of a fight where she literally a fight ago, um, fought hella times against Shevchenko. I mean, she is at risk of falling further and further down to the point of probably not climbing back up and getting another title shot. It's really hard to like drop all the way down the rankings and then climb your way back up. It's a lot easier to like kind of hover around that 4, 3, 3, 4, 5 spot and then like kind of gatekeep your way. And then like when timing works out, you just get title shots here or there. Or like when there's a new champion, maybe you just get another title shot. I think she needs to keep herself in that little range. I think if she falls like out of the top like eight, I don't see her getting back into it. So I think that it's really important that she maintains her number three spot and gets a win in her next fight, just to maintain her status as like one of the elite fighters in the division.
I like that. I think that's That's the right pick. I'm gonna go Macy Barber.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Just from a momentum standpoint and the fact, and I don't know the whole story of what medical thing happened before that fight.
Used to beat the scale.
Yeah, she came in overweight though. I don't know. It was just a weird look, and she doesn't fight a lot per year, and she just needs to keep the momentum going and get the win. A lot of killers coming up right now in that division, especially Jasavicius right there. Rose is always in play. I was almost thinking saying Miranda Maverick because she's a beast and she needs to find a way to get into this top 10. But I do think Macy, and the fights for Macy are only going to get tougher. And I don't know if she's fought this level of comp yet, so she really needs to get a win to prove she deserves to be up there.
I feel that. Plus, like again, kind of with similar to the Armand factor. I don't know all of the details. They're a little murky. I mean, if she really did have a seizure, I'm sure Dana's not gonna be as mad. But like, it is a bad look when like a card is built around you, even if it's a fight night card, and you pull out right at the last second when they don't have any like they have no way to replace you or do anything about it. So I just imagine that like the UFC is probably not going to be in too much of a hurry to put her in a big spot if she does lose her next fight.
Yeah, I was more upset she came in overweight.
I mean, if she would have still fought, people would have been fine with it. It's the fact that she literally
Yeah,
like 5 minutes before the fight apparently maybe had a seizure or something, and like
you just don't see shit like that.
yeah, I mean like I don't know what the exact details of that are, but I mean I know it puts the UFC in a bad spot, and Dana is not too forgiving with shit like that.
So she'll be on the prelims somewhere.
Fuck.
All right, last one, guys. We got women's bantamweight.
Oh,
Um, ah man, this division is kind
the
of sick.
real the real thing is who to pick. I mean, there's a bunch of them, I would
We
say.
might have to work together.
Everyone needs to win, bro.
That's what
Fuck.
I'm saying. Like I was thinking Aldana.
Uh, yeah, I mean,
I thought
Aldana makes sense.
Wait. Did Bueno Silva win her last fight or nah?
No, oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the misses.
I
yeah.
don't. Oh, she did.
No, she lost, right? She won.
I did not remember, to be honest. I thought Pennington beat Pena to be fair, but
I mean, it's more just like who do I even want to say here, bro? I'm struggling. This is like gotta be the worst division in the UFC if I've ever if I'm looking at it live, bro.
this is tough.
This
It's
is
all
tough
over the
fucking
place.
sleds, bro. Tough sleds. Um, fuck.
I'm gonna say Juliana Pena because she looked so dog water. The title fight, I just feel like she needs to prove she can like fight out there. Like she was the champ somehow, and it was like I don't know what the striking was. She kept doing like this or some shit. I don't know.
So it was tactical.
She needs to prove. She needs to prove she could be like Dumont or someone like that. I don't know. The rest of the division stinks. Irene Aldana.
I don't even
I'm
have it. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Aldana, but I don't even really have a reason.
But Pena for me just off that shit.
Dude,
I'm
I'm
gonna
looking at Pennington's like resume. She was fucking like on a nice streak.
She was.
Like Pennington,
I'm gonna go fucking Norma Dumont, bro. Just because she is the fighter that I guess has the best case for the title shot after Amanda if she comes off another win and the timing works out. Just because I mean Caitlin Vieira just lost to Harrison like a fight ago. So I mean, and then Vieira just took out Macy Chiasson, so which like knocked her back. So I mean, like Norma Dumont's really the only fighter that I think with a win deserves a crack at like just a fresh matchup type of a situation. She hasn't lost in the UFC yet, so I mean, in a division starving for contenders, I mean, it's just important that they don't all just beat each other and just kind of like create a issue. You know what I mean? Where like there's no one that really deserves a title shot that people that the people want to see. So fuck. Horrible. That was this was a pain in the ass to do this women's bantamweight. Like I have a headache just even staring at these girls to be honest, but that's the best I can do, man.
I
No, I
agree.
think I think we did the best we could, man. It's all good.
I
But
agree.
anyway, guys, that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please go check out the TikTok. There's always new stuff on there. Let us know who you think is the most desperate in each division, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace. We'll catch you.